Yo, what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I'm Jose Martinez Jr. and I'm joined by my co-host Zeke. And today we got a special guest. We got pro boxer Brook Sibrian. How's it going, Brook?
Hello, good. Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here.
Our
Or
pleasure. Thank you so much for making the time.
Of course.
First question we got for you is probably the most asked question. It is, how did you get into boxing?
Oh, most okay. Yeah. So I'm one of those late bloomers that started with fitness boxing. No, I didn't grow up with boxing. My first love was soccer. I was 27, looking for something, just to kind of learn and also um get active, and kind of put my energy into. I was working 9 to 5 and I was like, oh my goodness, I need something. Found fitness boxing. Loved it so much that eventually I found myself in a boxing gym with active fighters, both amateur and pro. And I was hooked. I fell into the love for the lifestyle. And then I eventually got my first amateur fight. And then I blinked. And then I'm over here now as a pro. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. Obviously, it has a lot of ups and downs, but it's been probably one of the best decisions and like lifestyle changes I made too for myself.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And then, speaking of the gym, can you tell us the name of the gym you train out of and kind of what's the atmosphere in the gym?
of course. Yeah, so I currently train out of the Lee Espinoza Coachella Valley Boxing Gym in Coachella. Lee Espinoza, the OG grandfather, he's still the director and still there. I train under Marcos Caballero. And then at that gym, so it's actually a nonprofit gym. So after 5, it is open to the public, and it's we have a lot of volunteers and just really a great kind of outlet for anybody. We do have a really strong amateur program, but we do obviously have the mornings and midday kind of reserved for the pros to train out of.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then love your nickname, Mighty. Can you tell us the backstory how you got that nickname?
Yeah, so I guess definitely okay. So it was during the amateurs. I think kind of came naturally during the Instagram lives. Mega did an awesome job of like always, like making it available, no matter where we fought. And I've always been the smaller fighter. And I don't know, it just these young ladies are pretty big, so everybody was like, this little 5 foot, fighters taking them down. So Mighty just kind of stuck, and here we are, just taking it full throttle and embracing it because I was like, I'm small, but we can still do a lot of damage. So
small but tough.
yeah.
Certainly fits. And speaking of your amateur days at Brook, what were some of your major accomplishments from back in the day?
So major one of them right off the bat was having 25 fights in 2 years exactly, debuting in Managua, Nicaragua, and then just becoming a two-time national champion within those 2 years, um, and bringing a lot of awareness to the gym, and then ultimately representing El Salvador nationally when we went to the Central American Caribbean Games, which I mean, it was funny because I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be here, So I think every opportunity, every accolade is just kind of a little reminder of like, it's a beautiful thing, and we're just another sign that I'm on the right direction. I'm in the right direction, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, but yeah, those are kind of the highlights. But there's just so many moments that it would take a while for me to probably go through.
All good, all good. And then speaking of your amateur days, is there an opponent that kind of sticks out as being the toughest that you faced?
Um, I think for me, maybe it's more situational, like if the event was just because, the lead up for me, the national fights were just probably, they stick a little bit more out. Yeah, the national tournaments because it was like back to back days, and then again once you get to the finals, it was like all that build up, and then just the sweetness of the victories, and obviously the investment and all the sacrifice. Um, but yeah, I think my finals for the two national titles, and then being in El Salvador for my fight there. So yeah.
Right on. And then how do people react when they find out you're a boxer for the first time?
Um, Obviously the people that know me, I mean, still a lot of them are just so surprised, and like they're almost kind of like, I can't believe it. Like it just came out of left field for,
Mhm.
I mean, all of us. But also too, the people that don't know me in the boxing world, or they didn't meet me in the gym, when they meet me outside, they're just, when they find out, they're just like, wait, what? That doesn't, it's a little strange. But people that meet me in the gym, they're like, oh yeah, you know, I can see it.
And then you made your pro debut last year in October. What were your emotions heading into that fight? Were there any nerves?
Yeah, there were, but again, I think one thing that was pretty interesting for me was how calm I was fight night. Um, and I was just like, I don't know if this is how I should be feeling, but I'm just gonna ride with it. And I really had that moment of like, all right, time to have some fun. And but of course, like any fight, there's always nerves, there's always, that anxiousness, and you just never know. But my pro debut, um, it was a little mixture of everything for sure.
And then we have your second pro fight coming up on January 27th. How has the training camp for this fight been going?
Oh, it's been awesome. We've had, quite a bit of time to prepare for it, and it's going along really well. I'm excited. It feels like time almost stopped with the holidays. It's this weird thing, like it stopped, but now I feel like it's gonna zoom by. But yeah, we're excited, we're ready, and just counting down the days.
Yep, almost time. And
Yeah.
what can you tell us about your opponent for that fight, Nakia Williams?
Yeah, so she is a local California fighter. She actually, well, I believe she trained out of a gym that was um nearby in the LA area. I've seen her fight one of the other amateurs that I used to train with. So familiar with her, and yeah, it was one of those things where we figured it would happen sooner rather than later. I think it was maybe, I think, scheduled a couple times. In the amateurs, it just never happened for whatever reason. So kind of one of those things where it was like, it was gonna happen. So yeah.
Nice. And then the fight's also going to be on UFC Fight Pass. Are you looking forward to the opportunity for more exposure and basically putting on a performance on January 27th?
Of course, yes. This is one of those opportunities where you just, got to give it your all. And that's what I'm focused on, because obviously it opens more doors. And but yeah, super excited for the opportunity to be on that platform with, and that just that the whole team. They're, so much how could I say, experience and knowledge, and just, like just the imprint they have in the industry. It's just a blessing to even be considered, and then to be on there, just taking it all in, and just working my best to give it all. Yeah.
Well said. Yeah, it's going to be a great card. I think you're going to be on that one in person, right, Teak? I know I caught you coughing, my bad.
So you good? I just had on mute. What happened?
You're going to be on that fight, right, January 27th?
Yeah, I'm gonna
UFC
try.
fight.
I mean, it's literally like about 20 minutes from you, so I'm literally front door.
Nice.
Yeah,
Local.
you're good.
And then, Brooke, if it was up to you, how many times would you fight in 2024?
um every other month.
Busy.
Yeah. I mean,
Damn.
yeah. That was our mentality in the amateurs, because as I mentioned, like when I started my amateur, I was what, 28, almost, yeah, 28. So I was like, if I'm gonna do this, we have to hit the gas. We're not here to pasar tiempo, like, waste time and
Right.
Yeah.
and anything. And I also was just like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna give it my all. So I mean, whether you're pro or amateur, you're like training all year at least, and that's our philosophy. So that in amateurs, it was like we were always ready, and we wanted to get as many rounds whenever we could. And so I think the same mentality is going to transition over into the pros. and just see what we can do and maximize during my window, because can't fight forever. And right now I think it's a good timing for women's boxing. And so I'm just also trying to strike all the top. So
Good point.
yeah.
And then what would be your dream venue to headline one day?
Forum for sure. Um, that's probably one. And I would definitely take it to New York, MSG.
Perfect.
My heart is over there. I went to college in New Jersey, and my second family is on the East Coast, so I'm just like, oh, that'd be awesome.
No, Vegas, MGM.
Yeah, I mean, do Vegas for sure, but my top two, I think, were, yeah,
That's good. That's understandable.
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
I mean, I'm trying to fight everywhere. Let's go to Tokyo. Let's go to everywhere. But no, I think those were the two that came to mind. Yeah, but Vegas for sure.
No, especially once you become world champion, just travel the world defending the belt.
I mean, that is the dream. I think, yeah, that is the dream for sure.
And kind of still staying with dreams, is there a dream opponent that you would like to face in the future?
Yeah, super bad. I mean, I would love to get in there with
Ooh.
all the champs, Yokasta too, but super bad would be mine.
Yeah, I mean, talk about like
It would
two
be,
fighters
uh,
from Southern California going at it.
yeah,
Oh,
I think it would be an exciting fight. She's an amazing fighter and person, and I mean, that's what you want, be in there with the best. So, um,
Absolutely. And then who's been the hardest puncher you've been in the ring with, either in sparring or in any of your fights?
um, for me personally, it's a pro boxer from San Fernando. Her name is Nicole Chisholm. She's I think 5-0 or something, but for me, she is very heavy-handed. And that's the name that comes to mind. But everybody, if they know how to uh eh, throw a punch correctly, it'll sting.
Yeah. And then who was your favorite boxer growing up?
Mm. Well, as I mentioned, I got into boxing a little later, but um, oh man, I am a big um Chocolatito fan. I mean, that's my number one. I'm a big Triple G, Duran, Chavez, um, and Gotti. Those are my favorites.
All great names.
Yeah.
And now, present day, who do you consider to be the number one pound for pound fighter?
Oof, that one's really tough. It's tough. I mean, Inoue is up there. Crawford's really up there. Haney's up there. Um, you know, um, yeah, it's tough because of the weight classes, but
Mhm.
I know. I think I guess I'll go with Haney right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Uh, and then I know last year there was a lot of discussion around, women fighting 3-minute rounds. What is your opinion on the topic?
Well, there's no doubt about it that women can fight 3-minute rounds. Like that's already a given. I mean, like, and I think it's great. I just really come down to, are they getting compensated for those 3 minutes? And there's no, at least for me, it's not like whether we can or not. I mean, a given we can. Um, but the money right and it's equal and for sure. Um, yeah, that's my stance on it.
I mean, that makes sense. You don't want to be fighting an extra minute and still getting the same pay. It just does not add up.
Especially because it's just the discrepancy is so large. It's just like insane.
Hmm.
Um, Especially because I mean, from what I've experienced and what I see myself, I mean, women put on a great show no matter what weight class, and I feel like everybody loves it, and I think they're worthy of it, right? And it's just like people are watching them, so but there's a lot behind the scenes. But yeah, that's how I feel about the 3 minutes.
Well said. And then what do you like to do outside of boxing? What are some of your interests and hobbies?
Well, we are big. Meg and I, we love to cook. We love cooking, eating, obviously. We do we do study a lot of boxing, which I know is like probably a boring answer, but I we do enjoy watching it a lot, studying it, boxing gems. uh, but yeah, I mean, our life is really this, you know. So if we're not here, we're with our family and you know, whatever, going out to eat or just having some good kind of wholesome time together. We do enjoy the pool a lot, and living in the desert out here, we can enjoy it pretty much year round. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, we're pretty low key homebodies, and yeah, studying and watching a million shows. We're just restarted watching Breaking Bad. We're obsessed.
Love that show.
Yeah, can't go wrong with them. So
Nope. And as you mentioned, Brooke, you did represent El Salvador in the national team. What do your Salvadorian roots mean to you, and to be able to represent El Salvador in the boxing ring?
oh man, that was surreal. And a lot of for people that don't know, so my dad he legally adopted me at 12. So even though I don't have blood, right, Salvadorian blood, I have it in my heart and my upbringing and my loved ones are born and raised, so many from there. So for me, it was a little surreal to be able to even have the opportunity to become dual citizen and be able to represent that country. And when I went over there, I was a little hesitant because I'm like, they're probably gonna think I'm a fraud or this or that. But it was so like unreal because they embraced me like wholeheartedly, no questions asked, and I'm not hiding it or anything, and this is just who I am. And I think there's a lot of people like me. But yeah, I think for me it was surreal to be able to represent the country and to get all that love and support. Because I love Salvadorian family and those roots, and it is part of me. So it was pretty surreal, I have to say, and I think it brought me so much closer to my family over there and here as well, and also to the community.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it means more than I think people probably realize because I don't really take it for granted, right? Like, it's kind of like a situation that probably shouldn't have happened, but for some reason it happened for me.
Mhm.
So I just kind of take it in and try to give it my all.
Yeah, I mean, and kind of like Chocolatito, you have those countries that just aren't like overly represented in boxing, that when you get someone that really makes it big, it means the world to them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's and I mean, as I don't know if you saw, but my pro debut too, I'm waving that flag loud and proud. I had it on my trunks. And then I had a special flag made. So the one side was the US, so that was who was born, and on
Yeah.
the back was Mexican and Salvadorian. My mom's Mexican and then my dad's Salvadorian. So repping them all, Central America proud and Mexico and obviously the US because I was born here. So
Mhm.
I know it's like mom was like, you have so many flags everywhere, but I'm like, but that's what it is. Like a lot of my generation, that's what we are, a mix of that. And
Mhm.
um and so yeah, that's my thing. I'm gonna be doing that, moving forward. My next sons will have that. And on top of it, I got the Nika flag on me always because of Jose. And 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 because of him, there was like a point where I was like more Nika than anything because you're so involved, like surrounded by us and the food and the slang. And then of course, my connections with Nicaragua and being out there and then getting a ton of support from Choco because he did 3 camps here when I first started training and I was part of them. So we got really close. And now we're family. So it's just kind of beautiful. And I'm like,
Man,
I'm taking it all in.
it is. You get the best of everything. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then Brooke, what would be the best piece of advice you would give someone who's thinking about going pro and making a career out of boxing?
Hmm. Um, it really comes down to your reasons why. If you're doing it because you think you're gonna get rich and you're doing it for money per se, then run. And really having an understanding for your whys, like I said, the love of the sport, of the lifestyle, and then having a team to really build you, not just as a fighter, but like being able to put yourself out there, share your story, build, because you become a brand, you know, putting yourself out there with that and building it and be and getting in a strategic position, right, for your fights, because it matters where you're fighting, who you're fighting, how often you're fighting, what circles you're around. And it's obviously it's not going to be easy or clear cut, but being around people that know about the business and can help guide you. And I think obviously, there's always room to learn and grow, obviously, but having a team that has that, the foundation, and then it's gonna be there and support you wholeheartedly. It's tough, and it ain't easy. So yeah.
Great advice. And then Brooke, when it's all said and done, how would you like to be remembered in boxing?
Ooh, I like that. Fighter to never compromise. Yourself as a fighter, as a professional, and someone that will put on a good hell of a show. I truly believe that, we are entertainers, so we have to leave a little piece of ourselves. But yeah.
Right on. And then the final question we got for you, Brooks, it's not really a question, it's more so now opening up the floor to you. What's the message you want to send to your fans and supporters?
Oh man, thank you so much from day one. It means everything. It fuels me daily. I am super excited to obviously be here today. Thank you for having me. But I am looking forward to January 27th at Commerce Casino at the 360 Promotions. We have tickets still, so please reach out if anybody's interested to, enjoy a great night of boxing. And then obviously support the dream. Reach out. We'd love for everyone to come out and support.
Perfect. And then where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, my Instagram, which is pretty my main form of my only place actually is at Brook Sibrian. And if you follow me, please follow Jose Mega Soto on the Instagram. We kind of tag team and do our thing there. So it's not weird. A lot of people are like, I don't know if I should follow him or I don't want him to think. I'm like, no, please, because he'll post stuff that I won't even put up. And so it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Shout out to Mega. Make sure you follow him too.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Brooke, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to get to know you better and just talk some boxing with you. We're going to be looking forward to seeing you back in action on January 27th.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Stay safe.
Yes,
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
All
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.